Alright, the White Princess and the White Prince and stuff. This is a tiny tale of love in a faraway land. Once upon a time, there was a kingdom surrounded by a deep, dark forest. The forest was a frightening place, filled with beasts and ruled by a powerful witch. Even during the day, the forest could be as dark as a winter night. Because of this, humans rarely ventured inside. As terrible as the forest was, a beautiful singing voice would always pierce the darkness when the moon shone. The voice belonged to a large wolf. She would probably sing toward the moon high atop a cliff every night. The wolf singing drew an unforeseen admirer, a human prince from the kingdom, surrounded by the forest. Every night the prince would venture into the scary forest just to hear the beautiful song. One night, when the wolf finished singing, the prince applauded. The voice's identity was hidden because of the cliff. But this is only piqued the prince's curiosity. The wolf glanced at the prince. Wolves are man-eaters, after all. What stupid prey, she thought. I'll show him now that I've finished singing. However, the prince had innocently applauded, who had never before been praised for her singing. She hesitated first, but for some reason, she soon grew fond of it and didn't feel like eating him. For several more nights, the wolf sang her song, always looking forward to the prince's applause. But the wolf thought, if he finds out that I'm a monster, he'll get scared and he won't come listen to me sing anymore. So every night after a song, the wolf would hear the prince's applause and retreat into the deep, dark forest. This night continued, even as the seasons changed. On a night like any other, the wolf sang her song toward the moon. It was the same quiet evening for her. However, tonight was a special night for the prince. He entered the forest filled with determination. He wanted to see the identity of the singing voice with his own two eyes. The prince climbed the cliff, his heart full. The wolf didn't notice anything unusual at first, but when she was done singing, she didn't hear the applause that always came afterward. She pondered and wondered and glanced down below. What? Why was the prince coming so close to her? He'll hate me if he sees me. The wolf panicked. No one should see what I really look like. She extended a large paw to cover the prince's eyes. But instead, her claws accidentally tore at the prince's eyes. The wounded prince slipped from the cliff. The startled wolf thought, if a human falls from this height, and hurriedly seized the prince's arm. At the same time, the terrified prince felt the same beastly presence on his arm as the one that had just scratched out his eyes, which increased his dread tenfold. The prince screamed and struggled, desperate to escape. The wolf's clutches, the wolf, alarmed by his yells, accidentally let his arm slip through her grasp. The prince plummeted down the cliff, but then, thump, he landed safely on some bushes, though he was not harmed from the fall. The wolf's claws had injured his eyes. A nearby soldier from the kingdom rushed over to the prince. The soldier had heard his screams and had come to see the commotion. The prince must be hurt by a monster up above. The soldier quickly fired some arrows. The wolf was concerned about the prince, but after being barraged by arrows, she was forced to escape into the forest. The wounded prince began to gradually lose consciousness. The terrible memory of claws in his eyes and the beast's grip on his arms became engraved in his mind. That was kind of intro. Several nights later, the prince, now blind, had brought disappointment and shame to the royal family, and his parents locked him away in a castle tower. The wolf was concerned about the prince and overheard some soldiers in the castle say that he had been locked away. That's awful. She thought angrily, and she snuck into the tower to check on him. While we control the wolf. First encounter. The wolf came across a cold room and saw the distressed prince sitting inside. The prince sensed someone nearby and raised his face. A large cloth was wrapped around his eyes, as if to hide something shameful and dirty. Prince, wolf said uncertainly. That voice, the singer in the forest. The prince said, "He can recognize me by my voice." The wolf thought, "Oh, yeah, that's right." The wolf responded, "I was attacked by a monster in the forest." The prince said, "But I'm glad that you are alright." The prince smiled a bit with relief. The wolf felt her chest ache when she looked at his ragged figure. "Thank you for coming. But how did you know I was here?" The wolf didn't know how to respond to that question. "I'm a princess from a nearby kingdom." The wolf lied, remembering that the prince couldn't see her. I said I wanted to visit the ill prince, and they let me in. Anyway, forget that. I can't believe that you are trapped in here. But I was attacked by a vicious monster, and my face is awful. My vision is gone. I can't wander outside. I'm forbidden from showing my face in public ever again. The prince said, his head hanging sadly. "Let's ask the witch of the forest to heal your eyes." The prince looked dumbfounded upon hearing her idea. "The witch? You mean the witch of the forest? Like the one from the storybook?" "Storybook? I'm not sure, but the witch can grant all wishes. She can fix you." "The witch lives deep inside the forest. I could take you there." The wolf was excited at the prospect, but the prince's head continued hanging. "It'd be hard to take me deep inside the forest, and the monster that rendered me blind, I can still feel its claws on me." The prince couldn't continue, his shoulders trembling. The wolf dropped her gaze after hearing his voice. She looked at her paws. All she saw were sharp claws that were made for hurting others. "I want to take the prince from here," the wolf thought, "but I can't hold his hand with this monstrous claws." Determined, she clasped her paws quietly and stepped closer to the prince. "I'll take you to the forest to see the witch." The prince slowly raised his head to the wolf's voice. "But just wait here a bit. I'll be back shortly." She then fled the castle tower and ran into the forest. shivering all night through the forest. The sun was rising just as she arrived at the witch's house. The witch of the forest turned her gaze to the sudden visitor. Oh, what a rare customer. I may need to move coming all the way here. What's this about? I wish to become a human. There's someone I want you to see. The witch let out a hearty laugh. Sly wolves rarely say such things. I may need a wolf become a human? How amusing, but why on earth? Never mind. No need to divulge the details. I believe I already know why. They will growl at the witch's mockery. The witch prodded the wolf's nose, the latter looking ready to bite at any time. But of course, I shall grant your wish. But you don't know what I need, yes? Strange glowing spheres appeared out of nowhere. The witch pulled one to her and sighed, admiring it. Beautiful. Each alarm differs from the others, all unique gems. The sphere's vivid glow pulsed in the witch's palm. The witch was a collector with a rather crude temperament. In return for granting wishes, she took the requester's most cherished possession and turned them into crystals. Those beautiful hearts are the ones willing to lose what's important to them in order to get what they want. So what will your heart reveal to me? The witch peered into the wolf's eyes as if to discern a suitable payment. Yes. How about your singing voice as compensation? My singing voice? The wolf knew that the witch had weak streak, and she knew she had to sacrifice the most important thing to her. Still, her heart trembled, doubtful. Her beautiful singing voice, that the prince praised, or the chance to hold his hand. Okay, I'll give my singing voice in exchange. The mouth of the witch's mask curled up, as if given an evil grin. Excellent. Payment accepted. I didn't expect to get this from one so prideful, but I suppose life is full of surprises. Well, I'm in a good mood, so I'll give you a little something extra. The witch's eyes twinkled out. Dubiously. I'll give you whatever form you desire. What do you want? The wolf remembered what she had told the prince. I want to look like a princess. The witch chuckled softly at the wolf's choice. My, what a lovely idea. But you are sure that you and your human friend will be devoured by monsters before you even get here? The wolf was unnerved and hung her head, ashamed that the witch had seen how futile her plan was. Didn't think about that, did you? Even clever wolves can be dull sometimes. I'll modify the spell so you can return to the wolf form at any time. A magical light appeared as she began the ritual. The magical light wrapped around the wolf's body. About the light gathered near the witch. I received your singing voice, as I told, the witch said. With an eerie smile, the light around the wolf suddenly shone bright and then faded. But I'm still a wolf. The wolf looked sad and disappointed. It's a complex spell, the witch said. Give your body 1 night to get used to it. Your task complete. The wolf departed the house. However, the witch stopped her in her tracks. I almost forgot. Beware of the moonlight, yes? If you fall under it, you will immediately turn back into a wolf. Okay. Thank you. Soon I'll be human and hold the prince's hand. I'm so excited. Full of hope, the wolf eagerly anticipated returning to the castle tower, where the prince was waiting. After leaving the witch's house, the wolf made the journey back to the castle tower. She recalled the witch's words about turning into a princess. It had already been 1 night. The prince was inside. The wolf focused on transforming into the princess. Try brushing the cage as a princess. Wow. The princess called out to the prince. Princess, you came back. Thank you, but don't worry. I worked hard to be able to let you out. The princess said brightly, trying to ease the prince. Alright. She thought, I have to get him out of the cell. I can destroy the bars as a wolf. But the prince needs to get away from them first. Could you step back a little? Oh, okay. Despite the prince's confusion at her instructions, he stepped back from the bars. Lights of light location destroyed. The princess timidly grasped the prince's tiny warm hand. Though he was
姫の
scared,
手を握り返しま
he
した。
quickly grasped Hill's back. I
歌
gave
声
up
を
my
引き返せ
singing
でも
voice to be human.
人の姿を手に入れて
She
よか
felt
った。
feeling joyful, but I'm
姫
glad
は
I did.
王子の手のぬくもりを感じ、さあ森の魔女のところへ行きましょう。
Let's go to the witch of the
ちゃん
forest.
と私についてきてね。
Make sure you stay close to me, okay? As they were hand in hand, the prince with full last pulled his hand and was calling him from the castle. Looks cute, by the way.
こうして王子の目を直すため、
They entered the
化
deadly
け物の
forest
森
to
を越
travel
えて魔女の
to
館を
the
目指
witch's
す
house and
嘘
heal
つき
the
姫と
prince.
盲目
And
王子
so
の
their
旅
journey
が
finally began.
始まったのです。
Well, that was. You can move over. Princess form. It's a floor that's likely to collapse at any moment. If more than 3 people stand it will collapse. The wolf weighs the same as 2 people. It's a box that appears to be breaking away. Try attacking the wolf. Someone sneaking there. They talk to each other during their journey. She mentioned she enjoyed running around, and he confided that he liked reading. I love books about flowers, said the prince. I can leave the castle that often, so I thought it'd be nice to finally see flowers in the outside world. While they were talking, there was a rustling sound. A small monster appeared from the bushes and leapt toward the prince. The princess had barely escaped being bitten by the monster. The princess quickly transformed into the wolf and brushed the monster away. Everything happened so fast, and for the prince, he could not see what was going on. He crouched down on the spot, shaking in fear. He couldn't help it. He recently had a scary experience in the forest. The wolf panicked. I've gotta do something. But she had no idea what to do. For the frightened prince, she desperately glanced around. A beautiful flower field caught her eye. She looked at it and remembered what the prince had said. Of course, I can give him flowers. Let's approach the flowers in the princess form. Prince, this is for you. The princess handed a flower to the prince. A flower? It smells so nice. Yeah, you said you love books about flowers. The prince smiled happily at the princess' words. Thank you. I wonder what kind of flower it is. I can see it, though, but I'm not excited to see it once my eyes are healed. She was relieved to see him happier. I want to thank you. I know. Do you you read a
姫はあ
lot
ま
of
り本は
books?
読まないんだよね。
Wanna hear a story?
よかったら僕が本で
I
読
read
んだお
one time.
話を教えてあげようか。
Read one time.
こんなに喜んでもらえる
The
なんて。
princess didn't expect
王
the
子ととても
prince
仲良く
to
なれ
be
た気
so
がして
happy.
姫は嬉
She
しく
felt
な
like
りまし
she
た。
was already becoming
花
closer
畑を
to
見か
him.
けたらまた
I'll
花を
pick more
摘んできてあげ
flowers
よう。
when I see another
そう
flower.
姫は
float.
思うのでした。
The princess thought, smiling. Probably we are dead. Come over here. We're waiting for you. Sorry, trophy. Even on the collapsing floor it's okay if you ride on the turtle's back. Wait a minute. Is a turtle really? Looks like some sort of Pokemon. are 4 of them. Someone's still there. This footing might break with 2 people on it. Hold the prince's hand and ask him to walk. Ah, I got it. This way. It's my turn now. Awesome. No way. So this only for one, right? Aye. I shoot to kill first. He's hiding. Come on. Man. Right, now you walk alone. Finally. Did everything correct. What about this? So I order you to walk there. Push that button. And I'm going to do the same. Let's go, girl. Prince. Looks like a girl. What's here? I think there's enough for 2 of us. We should bring it.
どれほど歩いたでしょうか。
They walked for what
気がつくと
seemed like
辺り
an
はすっかり
eternity
暗くなっていました。
and didn't notice how dark
姫
it
は
had
慣れない
gotten.
人間の姿で
Both of them were
王
exhausted
子は見えない目で
from the
危
dangers
険な
of
森を歩き
forest.
続けたので、二人ともクタクタです。二人のお腹がグーッと鳴り
Just as
始
their
めた頃、
bellies began
ちょ
to
うどよく
rumble,
休めそう
they
な場
found
所
a
が見つかりま
place
した。
they could take a rest.
王子、今日はここで休みましょう。
Let's stop here for a bit,
姫は
said
王
the
子にそう
princess,
告げると、
and she
夕食の
started
準備を
preparing
始めま
dinner.
した。じゃん、
Ta-da!
姫はとっておきの
The
肉を取り出し
princess
ました。
took out some meat, her
さあ
favorite
王
food.
子、
Go
どうぞ
on,
召し上がれ。
take a bite.
肉は姫の大好物で
She
す。
then offered the bloody meat to the
王
prince.
子も喜んでくれるはず。
I'm sure the prince
ニ
will
コニ
like
コ
it
しなが
too.
ら、ぬるり
The
と血が
princess
滴る
thought,
肉を
smiling.
王子に手渡しました。ありがとう。
Thank you.
差し出された
The
肉を
prince
口に
put
し
the
た王
meat
子は、
in his mouth,
うーんと
then
首を
tilted
かしげま
his
す。
head in confusion.
なんだか不思議な味だね。
This tastes odd.
取れたての新鮮
It's
なウサギ
fresh
のお肉よ。
rabbit meat.
どう？
It's yummy,
美味しいでしょ？
isn't it? The princess said,
姫は自信
proudly.
満々に胸を張ります。もしかして
Wait, this is
生
raw
のまま
meat?
のお肉。
Blur. The prince coughed and promptly spat
王
it
子は
back
思わ
out.
ず口
The
にしたものを吐き
princess,
出して
who
しまいま
thought
した。
he would enjoy it,
喜んでもらえるとばかり思っていた姫は
blank
きょと
expression
んとして
on her
王
face.
子を見つめています。ごめんね。
Sorry,
僕の
we
国で
don't
は
eat raw meat
お肉を
at the
生で食べ
castle.
ることがなくて、
The princess felt bad for the
むせな
prince.
がら謝る王子を見て、姫は罰の悪そうな顔をしました。そうなんだ。
Oh, really?
お肉は
So
どうや
how
って
do
食
you
べ
eat
てる
meat?
の？
Well, we first cook it
僕の
over
国では
the
お
fire.
肉は火で焼いて食べるん
We
だよ。
get sick if it's eaten raw.
生で食べるとお腹を壊しちゃうから。火を使う
The princess froze at the word fire.
という言
Oh,
葉
you
に
use that?
姫はびっくりと
She
体
was
をこわばら
afraid
せ
of
まし
it
た。
and became tense
化け物
just
たち
from
は
thinking about
火
it.
が大の苦手です。そっか。
I see. I'll go
ここには
find
火が
some
ないから
food instead.
代わりに果物
And
を
with
取っ
that,
てくるね。
the princess managed to avoid
火を使うことができ
further
ない姫は
discussion of fire
そう言っ
with
てその場をごまかしました。
the prince. So, fly frog. Flying frog. Let's go. Go. Happy. Woo. Well, that's only one, right? How I could bring you there? Wait a minute. Maybe maybe for two. Two people will be okay. Let's try to tell her to go. Two people is okay. Nice. How about that? What we going to do here? Got it. It's only for collect the leaves, so we probably should break this one and go down. Let's go, girl. I think you have to stand right here. Gotcha. Ooh. Let's go, girl. That's place for two. Even if you fall from a high place, it'll be okay if you land on mushrooms. Haha. Looks like we need to go the way up. We did it, girl. Moving. flower that expels seeds after a storm. That's attack. Strong impact. It's like a cannon. Awesome. Gate is opened. Darkness fell. The witch's house was still relatively far away. They began searching for a place to spend the night. After wandering for a bit, they found an unstable cabin that was covered from top to bottom with mushrooms. It's pretty rickety. Maybe we could stay for just one night, the princess said anxiously. They firmly held hands and entered the cabin. The inside of the cabin was even darker than the forest. Only a few blurred shadows were visible. The princess squinted her eyes to see what they were. Whoa, so many corpses. The princess realized that the shadows were dead gods lying all over the floor. What? Corpses? The prince was stunned. Perfect timing. I'm hungry anyway. Let's eat them for dinner tonight. What? The prince, believing that the corpses were humans, was taken aback by the princess's outrageous suggestion. The princess left the prince to his own confusion and decided to sample one of the goats. Just as the wolf's large fangs were about to sink into the goat's stomach, it let out a weak cry. The prince heard the groan and called out to her, "Princess, that human's still alive." The wolf clicked her tongue and reluctantly stopped eating the goat. Nature's law was to eat weak prey, after all. She stared at the prince, disappointed. So he thinks they're human beings, she thought. Guess I can't do anything about that. The prince called out to the goats and listened to their story. Princess, these people are starving and can't move. Maybe we could help them. The wolf wanted to be closer to the prince, so she grudgingly agreed. They set out to find some food for the goats. So there are three buttons here.
牛は
They
たくさん
returned
の
to
肉
the
を抱えて
cabin with a lot
ヤ
of
ギの小屋
meat
に戻ってきました。
and gave it to the goats.
姫は
I got a
肉
lot,
をヤギに
the
差し出
princess
し
said proudly.
得意げに言います。
Help yourself.
たくさん取ってきたわ。さあ食べて。それを王子が慌て
The
て止めます。
prince quickly intervened.
待って姫、
Princess, wait.
まだお肉焼いて
We
ないよ
haven't
ね。
cooked the meat yet.
ヤギは化
Goats
け物
and
なので
monsters
生肉は
so
大
they
好
love
物
our
で
meat,
す。
but the prince
でも
still thought
目の見えない王子
that
は
they were
相手
humans.
を人間だと思っています。これ以上生肉のこと
If
が
I
何かある
mention
と
how
自
monsters
分が
eat
化け
raw
物だ
meat,
と気づかれてしまうと
the
思った
princess
姫は
thought
王子
he'll
の
know
話に合わ
I'm
せ
a
ることにし
monster.
ました。
She decided to play along with his story.
そうね。
Okay, we better cook the meat then.
でも私、
But I've never made
火っ
a
て使ったこ
fire,
とない
so
から
please
やり
teach
方
me
教
how
えて
to
ほ
do
しい
it.
な。
She managed to avoid a
姫は調子よく
potentially
その場をごま
awkward
かします。
situation.
そして王子
The
に教え
princess
てもらっ
tried
た
to
通り
follow
に
the
火を
prince's
つけようとする姫ですが、
instructions to light the fire, but no, I'm scared. The princess
も
was
ともとが
still
狼の
deathly
化け物
afraid
なので
of fire.
どうしても火を怖
She
がって
began
しま
to
います。
cry and asked the prince
しまいに
for
は
help.
ワンワン泣いて王子に助けを求めます。王子は目が見えないので
The prince
うま
wasn't
く火をつけられる
confident
自信はありま
that
せん。
he could make a fire because of his
姫が助けを求めてくれたことが
But
嬉
he
し
was
くて
happy that she
引き受け
had
たいと思いま
asked
し
him
た。
for help. So he agreed.
わかった。
Okay,
やってみるね。
I'll give it a shot.
王子
The
は
prince
姫のため
summoned
に
a little
ちょっとだ
courage
け勇気を
for
振り
the
絞ったのです。
princess. Take the prince next to the lantern. Let's make a request to hold. If you place lantern near a spot where fire has gone out, you can light the spot on fire again.
王子の協力のおかげ
The
で
meat turned out
肉がこんがりと
perfectly.
焼き上がりました。
The goats were utterly
ヤギ
delighted
たちは大喜び。
and immediately ate all of it.
焼いた肉も案
Cooked
外
meat
い
is
けるね。
amazing, Mom.
ありがとう。
Thanks.
助かったよ。
Help us,
もう
Mom.
少しで飢え死
We
にすると
almost
ころだった
starved
よ
to death,
ね。
Mom. One of the
ヤ
goats
ギのう
said,
ち一匹が
thanking the
姫
two.
にお礼を言います。よかったわ。
I'm
そ
glad.
れより
Can we stay
今
here
晩こ
tonight?
こに泊めてもらえない？
The princess asked.
いいよ。
Of course,
今夜は
Mom.
うちに泊まっていき
It's
な
a
よ。
little dirty and
キノ
overrun
コま
by
みれの
mushroom
汚いとこ
stuff.
ろだけど、
The goats took them
ヤギ
into
たちは
their
快
home.
く二人を受け入れました。長い一日が終わ
The
り、
long day
夜
finally
が更けてい
came
きま
to a
す。
close. The
王
prince
子
was
は
exhausted
旅の疲れもあり、
and dozed off,
ぐっすり眠っていま
but
す。
the nocturnal wolf
ですが、
could not sleep.
夜行性の狼はまだ眠れないでいました。眠れない狼が
The
小屋の
restless
外をうろうろしてい
wolf wandered
ると、
outside the cabin
一匹の
and
ヤギが
found one of the
小さなウ
goats
サギを追い回
chasing
してい
a
るところ
rabbit.
に出くわし
The
ました。
rabbit ran swiftly and
ウ
nimbly,
サギはすばしっこ
and
く
the
逃げ
goat
回り、
was unable to
とう
catch
とう
it.
ヤギは獲物を捕まえ損ねました。あ、狼さ
Oh, hi,
ん、
wolf.
狩りって難しいね。
But you got so
なの
much
に
meat in the
あんな
blink
に
of
た
an
くさんの
eye.
肉をあっという間に取ってこれるなんて、
The goat said
狼
innocently,
ってすごい
praising the
な。
wolf's hunting skills.
ヤギは無邪気に狼の狩りの腕を褒めてくれます。そんな褒め言葉に 狼は曖昧な返事を返します。
The wolf shrugged off the compliment.
王子に
She was
狼と
worried the
呼ばれるの
prince
を
would
聞かれてない
overhear
か
the
心配な
god
のです。
calling her wolf.
早めに話を切り
When
上
she
げなき
tried
ゃ
to cut the conversation short,
狼が考えていると、ところで一緒に連れてる人間は非常食かい？
is he emergency rations, ma?
ヤギの唐突な質問に狼は不意をつかれ
startled
ド
the
キ
wolf.
リとしました。いいアイデアだね。
Not a bad
僕ら
idea.
も飢え死にしないように真
Maybe
似
we
し
should
ようか
start
な。
doing that so
ああ、
we
でも
won't
僕
starve
なら
again,
もっと
ma.
太った人間を
But
選ぶ
if I
な。
were you,
あんな
I'd
に痩
get
せ
a
っぽっち
fatter
だと
human.
食べ応
He's
え
so
ないもん
skinny, he'd
ね。
be a midnight snack, ma.
化け物たちにとって
Normally,
人間を食べる
the
ことは
wolf
当たり前
would
のことで
engage
す。
in this banter,
なので
as eating
この
humans
会話
was
は
common amongst
化け物同士の
monsters.
普通の会話。
But now that she was
狼
traveling
も王
with
子と
the
旅に出るまでは
prince,
これが
she
普通
became
だと思っ
alarmed
ていました。
at the god's words.
違う。
No, no,
王子はそんなんじゃ
the
ない。
prince isn't like that.
狼は思わず否定します。
Inadvertently denied.
狼の態度を見た
The
ヤ
god
ギ
didn't
は
let her blunder go
何かを察した様
unnoticed.
子。あれ？
Hmm?
もしかして
Could it
君、
be you want
人
to
間と
get
仲良くし
along
た
with
く
the
なっちゃったっ
humans?
てや
What?
つ？
The wolf knew the god
ヤ
knew
ギに気
the
持ちを言い当て
truth,
られた
but
狼
she
は
refused
素
to
直
admit
に
it
そうとは言えず、
and kept
ただ
quiet.
黙ってしまいます。化け物と人間が
You
仲
know,
良くなれ
it's
るわけない
impossible
よ。
for monsters and humans
王
to
子と仲
get
良くな
along.
れるわけがない。
It sounded
まるでそんな
as
風に
if
言わ
she
れた
couldn't be
狼は
friends with the prince.
口を開いて
The wolf
何かを
opened
言
her
い返そう
mouth
としま
to
す。
speak, but no
だけど
words came out.
言葉が出てきませんでした。君もよく聞くでしょ
You hear of it too?
化け物の方がうっか
Don't
り
you,
人
ma?
間を食べちゃったり、
Monsters gobbling up
人間の
humans.
方が
Humans
化け物を
killing
裏切った
monsters,
り。
ma. The wolf hung her head
狼はう
as
つむいて聞
the
いています。
god continued.
ヤギ、ろくなことにならないよ。
No good will come from this, ma.
でも恩人
But
の
you
君
did
がや
save
りたい
us,
ことだから
so if
ね。
it's something you really
僕は応
want,
援するよ。
I'll support you.
頑張ってね
Good luck,
と
ma.
ヤギ
The
はの
goat
そりと
returned to the
小屋
cabin.
へ戻っていきました。狼は自分の寝床で体を丸め
The wolf crawled up
眠ろう
and
としま
tried to
す。
sleep as the goat's words
でも
replayed endlessly
ヤギ
in
の言葉が
her mind.
頭の中で何度もぐ
She
る
felt
ぐると駆け
uneasy.
巡っ
Up
て、
until then, she'd
落ち着きま
been
せん。
happy to hold the prince's
これまでは
hand,
王子の手を引
as
く
the
嬉しさ
princess
で
believing
怖いものは何もないと思っていました。でも自分の
But
本
her
当の
true
姿は
form was a
王
monster
子が嫌っている化け
that
物
the
です。
prince hated, and he
それ
still
に
didn't know
王
that
子の目を
she
傷つけ
was
た
the
のは
one.
自分だということも黙っています。
If he ever found out,
このことが王子に知られたらすべておしまいです。バレなければ大丈夫。
it'll be okay.
狼は
The
自分
wolf
に言い
told
聞かせま
herself,
す。
if I can just keep this up a bit longer.
バレなければ大丈夫。
She didn't sleep that night.
翌朝、
The next morning,
魔女の森へと出発する姫と王子を
the princess and the prince left the cabin,
ヤギたちが口々に
thanked
お
them
礼
again
の
and
言葉
prayed
や
for their safe
旅の
travels.
無事を願う言葉をかけます。頑張ってね。うっかり食べないように。
Good luck, ma. Don't eat him by
その
accident,
中
said
に
the
は一つだ
good
け
wolf.
別のことを心配している声が混ざっていました。
The prince didn't
王子
understand,
には
but
何のことだ
she
かわかりませんが、姫、食べはしないけど、
I won't eat him.
心の底に生まれた大きな
Princess
不安を振り払うように、
needing to calm her
姫は王子
anxious
の手を
heart.
引き、
She
再び
put
森
it
の
in the
中へと
prince's
入っていくのでした。
hand and set off again. Eat up goes. Oh boy, I'm gonna take some nap. It seems that the prince can hold his stone. Let's ask him to hold it. task into place. sad. Unless you cross them, the road will not open. 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 1. There's a mysterious row of crystals. Let's have the princess approach it and touch her there. Unless you cross them. 1 and 2 and 3. 3, 5, 4. magic, but I looked the hint. Maybe and that's 263. Dusk, they found a lake in the middle of the forest. The scarlet sunset's reflection danced brilliantly on the lake's surface. The area appeared safe, so they decided to stay there for the night. After dinner, they spent some more time talking. Prince, you read a lot of books, don't you? Yeah, like books with games you can play with others. Oh, really? What's that like? The princess asked, curious. She was used to playing alone. The prince was delighted that she was interested, so he happily explained one of the game's rules. So there's a winner and a loser. Okay, let's play, the princess said eagerly. Oh, and let's make it so that the loser has to grant the winner's wish. The prince added, alright, I'm not gonna lose, said the princess, haughtily, feeling like she'd already won. I lost. The princess clenched her teeth, blinking back tears. You know a lot of words that I don't. I read a lot of books, the prince said, sheepishly grinning. Since I won, can I tell you my wish? Oh yeah, the princess was still upset at losing, but she regained her composure and waited for the prince to speak. Princess, I want to hear you sing, the prince said shyly. What? Sing? Her singing voice, which the prince had come to hear every night, had been given to the witch in exchange for turning into a princess. She hadn't sung once since they had started traveling together. It was hard to imagine what her singing voice was like. No? I love your singing voice. The princess thought long and hard. If I don't sing, will he no longer trust me? She felt pressured. Okay, I'll do it. The princess nervously cleared her throat, opened her mouth, and started singing. But her voice was nothing like her old one. In fact, it was horrible. The prince looked blank. She sounded completely different from what he remembered. The princess started coughing, embarrassed. Sorry, I guess I'm exhausted from all this traveling. I'll sing again after I've rested. Oh no, I'm sorry, I forced you to sing. We
それ
should
なら
sleep
早く寝
early
て
so you
体を
can
休め
rest.
なくちゃ。
The prince's gentle
王子の優
words
しい気
cut
遣い
into
が
the princess,
嘘つきで後ろめ
who
たい
felt
姫の
guilty
心
for
を
lying about
ちくりと
her
刺しまし
voice.
た。夜も更けて
Dawn
王
arrived.
子は深く
The
眠っていま
prince
すが
was in a deep slumber,
狼は眠れない
but
ま
the
までいま
wolf
した。
remained unable to sleep.
狼はとぼとぼと
She slowly walked
湖のほと
around
りを歩い
the
ています。
lake, her head buzzing with
今や狼
anxiety.
の胸の中は化け物と人間が
It's
仲
impossible
良くなれ
for
るわけない。
monsters and humans to get
ヤギに
along.
言われた言葉が
The ghost
頭の
voice
中を駆け
replayed
巡ります。
endlessly in her mind.
姫の
I need
姿
to
でな
stay
いと
in princess form.
嘘をつき続
The
けない
wolf
と
thought,
王子と
I
仲
can't
良
be
くで
with
きない。
the prince unless I keep lying.
王子への思いと
She felt
嘘を
conflicted
重ねる
about
醜い自
her
分、
feelings for the
不
prince
安な気持ちをかき消す
and
よう
her
に
constant lies.
狼
The
は水
wolf
面をパシャリと
prodded
叩き
the
つけまし
lake's
た。
surface as if to erase her uneasiness.
広がり、そして
The
ゆっ
water
くりと
slowly
収まってい
rippled.
く波紋。
The wolf glanced at it
湖を
and
覗き
saw
込
her
み、
monstrous
水面に
reflection.
映る化け物の姿を見て、
She heaved a big
狼は大きなため息をついて
sigh and
湖面を
prodded
もう
the
一度
lake's
かき乱す
surface
のでし
again.
た。
What's that? Large burrows leading a stray person have 4 wings on the right side, 8 on the left. I can read part of it. Really? Died just like that? This is lantern. Let's ask the prince to hold it and approach the fire. Some monsters are afraid of fire. It seems they will not come closer. Okay, get off me. time, the land's fire will burn out. Many collected items decorate Wish's garden. Decorate this place a continuous waving basket. Count the red, yellow, and blue gems. Many decorate this place. Where am I supposed to count it? Count the red, yellow, and blue gems. Continuous waving basket. I don't get it. I looked again. I need to go back and count, but I don't want to. It should be 593. The right side is a shortcut, down below is a difficult road. We take a shortcut, who cares? I don't. I want the prince to come over. I'm a bit far away, but maybe I can ask. You can ask for help from the prince, even if you're a little far away. to pick this one up. Ace Hunter. I don't know, but let's go and try. We have to walk over there. Oh wait. Come back. I will walk there. And now I'm going to call you. No way, no possible. Maybe. Hey. Walk here. Oh, you're here. Once again. You need to pick up this thing. How to tell her to walk to this certain point? I will go by myself. There you are. Got it. Stuff with us. Now, time to burn it. I think fire must be somewhere here. This one just empty. There we go. Walk over there and burn it. this side. Go, girl. There's a portal now. Come back. I'm waiting for you. There we go. Whoa. This one should work. There's a fire there. Get away. This flower. The princess hesitated, lost in thought. She was holding a flower. She had picked for the prince. Eventually, the princess nodded with resolve and transformed gently to avoid crushing the flower. She was attempting to give the flower to the prince in her true form. Her fingers troubled with anxiety. But in the end, she never gave him the flower as a wolf. The flower seemed to be telling her that her beastly self would never be good enough for him, and that she would always be a monster who only knew how to hurt others. Princess, what's wrong? The wolf was startled to hear the prince's voice. She sighed sadly and transformed back into the princess. Oh, it's nothing. Here you go. The princess blissfully smiled as she gave the flower to the prince. The prince's usual happy smile filled her with pain that day. fire illuminates the dark. Pick this one up. Seriously? What? Where did you lose her? Touching the moon's light will cause a return to wolf form. Interesting. How to do that? We should to order her to walk. The princess led the prince through a dark cave. Despite her best efforts to carefully guide him, the ground that he was standing on collapsed. Prince! The princess seized his hand, but she could not lift him up in her current form. She could rescue him easily in wolf form, but if her hand still holding his turned into the wolf's, he knew she was a monster. She desperately tried to pull him up, her entire body shaking. Unfortunately, she couldn't do it any longer. She ran out of energy and unwillingly let go of his hand. thump. Oh no, shouted the princess. She looked where he had fallen and saw him lying in a small, shallow hole. Human went blank and her heart filled with dread. But the prince soon sat up and waved. He was perfectly fine. The ground that had given way was hollow, so the prince didn't suffer any injuries. The princess felt relieved. But the princess looked at her hand, and feeble and tiny hand that couldn't help the prince. She began to feel uneasy about keeping him safe in the future. I don't sense any hostility from this monster. I wonder if I got closer to it. Wow. Like that. What have you done? We wanna go there. Now. That was not good. Once again. What's she doing, huh? Now, sinister. How to do that? Maybe. Okay, it worked. Finally. Hey! Come with me. And what here? Interesting. How to do? I'm not able to jump. Wait a minute. What's in there? There you are. Uh-huh. So there are buttons here. And we need to order her. So I'm gonna leave her on that platform. Him. Prince, of course. I'm gonna ask him to walk. There you are. Oh no. Can you walk now? One more time. Here I am, waiting for you. Awesome. Wait, it is. Where? What do we need this one for? Maybe for more weight here? Nope. It's down there. Okay, try to pull it back. It will slide. Yeah, and then push the button. platform now moving. Take that. Yeah, your turn now. Hey buddy, 1, 2. While traversing through the cave, they came across a strange area filled with many holes, which looked like gaping mouths in the darkness. There might be something dangerous in them, the princess thought. To protect the prince, she stood in front of the holes and peered inside it. Then, tons of small black creatures emerged from the holes. The princess and the prince soon found themselves completely surrounded. The prince, sensing the princess' alarm, seized her hand and braced himself. Don't move, the princess said, ready to fend off the creatures. But the creatures only twitched their nostrils in curiosity. Maybe they are not harmful? The princess said, just as she turned her back. The creature next to the prince opened its mouth wide. Don't eat him. The princess jumped at the creature and pushed it backward, sending it flying into a rock wall. The creature, now with a lump on its head, started to cry. Flower smells good and tasty. The creature only wanted to eat the prince's flower, not the prince himself. The prince tried approaching the crying creature. No, prince, it's too dangerous. Let me do it. The princess offered, not wanting him to know that the creatures were monsters. The creatures quietly told her that they were moles who lacked sight, but had an excellent sense of smell and loved flowers. Flowers don't bloom in a cave, they said, but sometimes the wind carries in flower petals. Flowers are our favorite, but since they are so scarce, we fight over them when they come in. Some moths have even died as a result. Hiding that the creatures were moths, the princess relayed their story to the prince. Oh, I want to share my flower, but it's too important to me. I'm sorry. The moths became sad and made high, pitiful squeals with their noses. Princess, why don't we get flowers for them? The prince suggested. The princess agreed. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go look for flowers. The mouse stopped crying and became happy, following the petals, riding on the wind. The two set off to find another flower field. We keep going. Whoa. Awesome. Leave this stuff here and go with me. Maybe we could burn it. I don't know. We need this one move up, I think. So because how to do go What? How did I get there? Yeah. Let's go and grab it. I'm moving. The princess gasped upon arriving at the flower field. Flowers of every color were blooming, made even more radiant by the setting sun. It was the most beautiful sight she had ever laid eyes on. It smells wonderful, doesn't it, princess? Yeah, I've never seen such a pretty field before. Really? Oh, I wish I could see it. The princess closed her eyes for a moment and took it all in, wishing she could show this to the prince. Okay, let's pick some flowers. They gathered a lot of flowers and went back to the cave. The moles were ecstatic at the flowers the princess and the prince had brought, and they began to jump and run around the pair, clamoring for the flowers. Okay, I'm handing them out now. The princess gave a flower to each mole, one at a time. But one mole was anxious and couldn't wait any longer. Chomp! The mole sank his teeth into the flowers the princess was holding. The princess was taken aback, but the mole didn't care and started chewing on the flowers. Nom nom, they're so yummy. The moles who had already received the flowers began consuming them, and earnest, happy humming could be heard all around the cave. Yeah. The text appeared so slow. The prince was off to the side, telling one of the moles about the location of the flower
と
field.
花畑のある場所を教えているようです。ありがとう。
Thank you so much, said the
お
mole.
礼したい。
Why don't you stay here for a bit? The mole son brought
洞
out
窟で
some
取れる不
food
思議
for
な
the
食べ物を運んで
princess
きます。
and the prince,
姫と王子は
who were
喜ん
extremely
で
grateful.
モグラの言葉に甘えることにしました。その夜、
That night,
二人は花
they
畑に
returned to the
来ていました。
flower field. The princess wanted to give a special
全
flower
部モグラに
to
あげ
the
てしまった
prince.
ので、王子にもとびきりの花をプレゼントするために、夜はもう深く、
The lantern the prince held illuminated the field.
王子の持つランタン以
The
外
moonlight could
明かりはあり
occasionally
ません。
be seen peeking
そ
from
の光に
behind
照らされ、
the clouds.
花畑は静かに。姫はこの花畑
As the princess gave the best flower to the prince, she took his hand
そして
and he shyly
王
squeezed
子の
hers
手を握りました。
in return.
王子の手から伝わる
The
心地よい
princess
愛
felt
を
warmth
感
from the prince's
じながら、
hand
化け物
and
の
immediately forgot
嘘の
all of her troubles.
不安なことをす
She
る
wished to keep things like this
子供はず
forever.
っとこうしていたいと思いました。そう
For a moment, the princess completely let her guard down.
不意に雲間から月明かり
The
が
moonlight
差し込み
appeared from
二人を
the
照らしま
clouds
した。
and shone on them.
月明かりが差し込んだのは
It shone on them briefly, but that was all that was needed for the princess.
狼の手に戻ってしまったのも、
Still holding the princess to change into the
それでも
wolves
王子に傷つけられた恐怖の記憶を呼び起こす
coursed
には
through the princess'
十
hand.
分な時間でした。王子の手を一瞬包ん
It
だ
was the feeling
ゾワリとした
of
感
a
触。
monster that had both slashed the princess'
王子の目を引
eyes
き裂いた
and
化け物は
gripped his arms.
王子の腕
He
に
tried
残
not
し
to
た
cry
憐
out
ま
in
しい感触と
fear.
同じものでした。でも、どうして
But why? Why had her
ど
hand
うして
changed
姫の手が
into the
あの
monster's?
化け物と同じ手に変わったの？王子は信じがたい気持ちで
The
いっぱい
prince
です
couldn't
が、
believe it.
確かに自分の
Could
手
she
を
be?
握る姫の柔らかい手が、もしかして姫は
princess
化け物なの？
She's a monster?
王子は
He
姫の
scrambled
手を
away
振り
from
ほど
her.
き、姫、王子、
Wait, prince.
これは
It's
違うの。
not. She tried to explain, but
懸命に言
her
葉で
words
取り
fell
取ろうとします。
on deaf ears.
姫、来ないで。
No, don't come any closer.
王子はなおも後ず
The
さります。
prince moved further
目
away,
の見えない王子は
not knowing
そ
that
の背
he
後に
was
駆け
near
寄
the
ることは
edge of a
知る
cliff.
由もありませんでした。王子、危ない。
Prince, watch out!
崖を
The
踏み外し
princess
た王子に
leapt at
姫
him
を飛びつけ
just before
なんとか
he
王
fell
子の手を
and seized his hand. The lantern he
王子の
was
手からラ
holding
ンタンが滑り落ち、
slid out of his grasp and tumbled down the cliff.
王子、反対の手も伸ばし
Prince, give me your upper hand, or you'll fall.
です
The
が
prince
王子
hung
は
his head and didn't move.
動く様子はありません。姫、
Princess,
嘘ついてたの。
did you lie to me? What are you talking about?
王子、
Hang on, I'll pull you
それ
up.
よりも待ってて。
But she was too weak to leave him to
で
safety.
も、か弱い姫の力では王子を引っ張り上げることなどできません。姫は
Are you really a monster?
違うわ。
No, it's just your imagination.
お花が触れたのを
Maybe you
誤
got
解しちゃったん
confused
じゃない
when I gave you that flower.
狼に戻れば
The princess still felt guilty about lying to him.
そう
but she couldn't risk him knowing that she was really the monster that had blinded him. Please, take my hand. She desperately tried to grab it. The princess overhand, but he did nothing and continued to hang his head. Misfortune then struck. The clouds hiding the moon vanished, bathing the two in pure moonlight. The spell was broken on the princess, and she fully reverted to the wolf. She had no excuse now. No, it's not. The prince felt a beastly paw holding his hand. His suspicions were confirmed. Why? Did you lie? The wolf couldn't think of anything to defend herself. Liar, what? You, liar. Let go of my hand, you monster. The wolf's eyes welled up with tears. His word had cut deeply into her. She could barely breathe. Nothing had ever caused her heart so much pain before. The wolf inadvertently loosened her grip, and the prince swung his hand free. All she could do was stare at him falling down the cliff. The wolf kept staring at the spot where he had fallen, her mind completely blank. Afterwards seemed like an eternity. A red light shone in the dark forest. Soon the forest turned crimson. The fire from the fallen lantern was burning the forest. The wolf snapped out of her reverie when she heard trees burning. The prince is in danger. How could I help him? Flames engulfed more trees and rapidly spread. The wolf instinctively wanted to run away. Her body trembled. She hated fire more than anything. But if the prince died in this blazing inferno, Prince, summoning all her courage, the wolf leapt into the burning forest. Blade of words. Run for the prince. Woo. Cooked. What are you guys doing? Oh, it feels like. Yeah, there are stones in here. So come on. Yes. Here we are. We're going down to hill. Crazy stuff. Ooh. Flying frogs. So disgusting. Get away. Beautiful. Princess. Oh boy. Princess cooked. Wolf cooked now. Okay. Give the boost to that. Fuck, we needed one more stone. Come on. I have to wait on the platform. I'm going to arrive. Now. Yes. Hey! Yeah. Hey. It's gone. I saw you here. Yes. Finally. Hell yeah.
燃え盛る森の中を必死に駆け回る
So after desperately searching the burning forest,
王子を見つけ出
the
しま
wolf
す。
finally found the prince.
王子は燃える木々に囲まれ、
Surrounded by
今にも
fiery
炎に飲み
trees,
込まれそうになって
he
いました。
fearfully cried out for help.
熱い熱いと必死に助けを求めています。狼は王子を助ける
The
ため、
wolf carefully
ボー
approached
ボーと燃え
the
盛る
prince.
炎に近づいていきます。 王
Prince,
子、
I came to help you,
助けに来たよ。
she said softly.
恐る恐る。姫、
Princess,
王子は
he didn't
狼
know
にどん
how
な
to
言葉を返したら
respond.
よいか。
She was
わかりま
one
せ
who
んで
had
した。
destroyed his eyes,
あんなに火が
yet
苦
she
手だ
had
ったのに、
overcome her fear of
今命が
fire
けで王子を助
to
け
save
ていま
his
した。
life.
狼も王子へかける言葉が見つから
Never
ず、
of them said anything.
真っ赤に燃える
They
森の
could
中、
only stand near
二
each
人は
other
黙って向かい合うことしか
as
で
the
きません
forest
でした。
burned around them.
その時です。
Soon they heard a ferocious roar from the far away.
森全体が
The
大
burning
きく揺れ
trees
ました。
fell and shook the entire forest. They looked at where the roar had come from.
轟音のした方向
It
に
had come from a great monster that
森の木
towered
々
over the
燃える
trees.
ほど大きな
It
怪
roared
物が
again, its
怒り
roar
に満
filled
ちた
with
たけだけしい方向を
the
上げながら、
utmost fury.
今まさに
Never,
立ち上がろうと
neither
して
the
いるの
wolf
が見えま
nor
し
the
た。
prince had heard such a frightening monster before.
こんな恐ろしい怪物は見たことがあり
There
ま
was
せん。
commotion around them.
森に住む
Lots
生き
of
物
living
や化け物たちはみんなパ
creatures
ニックに
scurried
なり、
and hurried away
怪物のい
from
ない
the
方向へ
monster.
一斉に逃げ出しました。逃げ出す生き物たちの中に
Items
は
from
魔
witches'
女の使いのたちの
collection
姿も
were
見えます。
among them,
魔
shouting
女
in
の使いのた
panicked
ちは
voices.
何かを叫びながら逃げていました。森の魔女がお怒りだ。
The witch of the
愛
forest,
するコレクションを
is
燃や
furious.
されて、
one of the
昔のように
creatures
大暴
yelled.
れ。
Her collection was destroyed and she's on a rampage. Just like back then, the forest will be reduced to ashes.
それを聞いた狼と王
The
子
wolf
は
and the
顔を見合わ
prince
せます。
turned to each other.
あれ
The
は
witch of the forest,
森の魔女なの。
the wolf pondered.
コレクションが燃やされて
It's my fault her things are gone,
これ
the prince said.
僕たちのせいだ。でも
How
あん
can
な
I
怪
defeat
物
her?
どうやってやっつければ。
The wolf thought it wouldn't be
狼は怪物
easy
になった魔女を倒
to
す方法
triumph
を考え
over
ます。
such a terrible monster.
だけどどう考えても、王子を連れてここから逃
She
げないと。
considered taking the prince and running away.
姫、魔女に
Princess,
謝りに行こう。
let's apologize to the witch.
思いがけない王子
The
の
wolf
言葉
was startled
に
at
狼
his
は
suggestion.
耳を疑います。謝りに、
Apologize.
そう、
If you do bad things, you have to
謝
apologize.
らないと。悪いことをしたら、
If you do bad things, you have to apologize.
狼は王子の
The
言葉を
wolf
繰り返し
repeated.
ます。
Come on, said the
早く行
prince.
こう。
Princess.
狼は少し考え
The
込ん
wolf
で、
hesitated, then
や
nodded.
に強くうなずきます。
Right, let's go. wait a minute. What if... Ah, it's open now. Great. This is some sort of pinball. Excuse me, miss. What's your name? I don't understand. Your prince just wait here. We're going. Let's go. I have to wait now. Now is the time. Excuse me, miss. What's your name? Seriously? So it's like already the timer. Walk a bit. Walk for me. Walk for me. Walk for me. I'm coming for you, lady. Yes. Look now, my girl. I forgot that's the prince. He looked like a girl. What you do with my body? You're crazy. Oh, you there? Let's go. I'm gonna give you a flower. So sweet. It's a bit dangerous here. Have to do it slowly and gradually. Ooh, you okay? Alright, look like she's fine. They had finally arrived at the witch's house. Oh, so they thought. Had she destroyed her own home? It was now an unrecognizable pile of rubble. They spotted the angry witch further ahead, who was still rampaging through the forest in a monstrous form. What do we do? The princess asked nervously. I don't think she's gonna listen to us. It'll be okay, the prince assured. What do you mean? The princess looked at him. Princess, you're very strong. Prince. She still didn't understand. Was he joking or being serious? She started feeling a little panicked. A vivid roar and the shaking ground halted their conversation. The witch recognized the two and furiously advanced on them. She knew that they were the ones responsible for destroying the forest and her collection. She's getting closer to us. The princess tried to run away with the prince, but he refused to move. Wait, the witch might listen to us once we calm her down, the prince explained. How do we do that? Maybe if she was knocked out? Wait, what? This sounded easier said than done. The prince tried to coax her. Please, just try to knock her out. Alright. I'll give it a shot. The princess transformed into the wolf and started running toward the frenzied witch. Whoa, final boss. But I think not. Oh, but look at that. For my prince, willing to do anything. Whoa. I don't get it. I forgot my body. I thought I'm alone here. But I'm not alone. There you are. Let's go. Stand here. by the wolf. Great. Walk over there. And here. take that. Oh.
王子と姫は怒り狂う魔女を何とか鎮めること
They
がで
managed
き
to
ました。
calm the witch down and return her to
魔
normal.
女との戦いで
The
もう
smoke
もう
from
と
the
立ち込め
battle
た煙が
cleared away.
だんだんと晴れ上がります。怪物から元の姿に
The
戻っ
witch
た魔女は
appeared to
しば
have
らく気を
fainted,
失っているようで
but
した
she
が、
soon awoke
やがて目を
and
覚ま
stood
し、
up her
よろ
knees.
よろと立ち上がります。畜生、大切なものを
No,
踏み
you
にじって
destroyed
お
my
いて
most precious item.
許せない。
I'll never forgive you.
あいつだめ、
You, why?
なんで分かってくれない
You
ん
don't
だ。
understand. The witch sputtered.
魔女は朦
Still
朧としていて、
furious.
少し変なことをつぶやいていますが、魔女はボロボロになった魔
She
法の
gestured
杖を
her hand
二人に
toward
差し向
the
けました。
magical power gathered
魔法の
in
力が
her
光と
palm,
なって、
glowing
の先端に
darkly
集まり、
and ominously
鋭く輝
just
きます。
before that power was
そ
unleashed
の破壊的な力が
on the
今
two.
まさに二人に向かって放たれようとしたとき、ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry.
魔女はピクリと動きを止め
The
ま
witch
した。
stopped, taken aback.
ふん。ちょっと見ない
now
間
have
に
you become
素直
more
な心を
honest?
少しは身につけてき
You
た
can
のか。
honestly think I'll easily
そ
forgive
んな
you.
ことでお前た
For
ち
what
の
you've
したことを
done,
許してやるとでも思うのか。言葉とは裏腹に
For some
魔
reason,
女からはさっきまで
there
の
was
時
no
が
malice in
なぜか
her
感じられ
voice,
なくなっています。
despite being there mere moments ago.
そういやお前は
At any
私
rate,
に何か
you
用
have
があったん
something
だった
for
ね。
me, don't you?
魔
The
女の言
princess
葉に
nodded,
姫は
remembering
王子を連れて魔女に
why
会いに
she
来た
had
理由
brought
を
the
思い出
prince
します。
to the witch.
そうだった。
Yes,
魔
please,
女、
please,
お願
witch,
い。
can you
王
heal
子
the
の目を直してあげて。
princess's eyes?
姫のなりふり構わぬ
The
懸命
witch's
な態度
face
に
distorted
魔女は顔を
her
歪めます。
expression, a mixture of
その表情
irritation
は
and
怒りのよう
pleasure.
にも愉悦のようにも見えました。へえ、私のコレクションと
But you
庭を
burned
焼
the
いておい
forest
て、
and my
よくも
collection.
そうずうずうしくお
It's
願い
quite
ができるもの
arrogant
だ。
of you to wish for something
しか
like
し
that.
まあ、私は
Well,
寛大な魔女
I'm
だ。
generous wish
お
after
前
all.
がそれ相応の代償を支
You pay
払
me
うというの
reasonable
なら、そ
compensation.
の願い、
I'll
聞い
grant
てや
your
らんことも
wish.
ないよ。
The witch said in a
眠るよう
strange
な口調で、魔女は言い
maturely
ます。
tone.
どうすればいいの？
What do I do?
お前がここに来た理由のすべて、
Feeling uneasy. Well,
それをもらおうか
give me
ね。
the reason you came here.
それって、
But that's... The princess froze
姫は
in
嫌な予
fear.
感に背筋が冷たくなるのを感じました。王子さ、
The prince.
そんな、
No.
と言っても、
The
王
witch
子の命をもらうわけ
chuckled.
じゃない
No,
よ。
no, I won't take his
私
life.
は魔法の代償
I
に
no
命
longer
は取らない
require
主義だ
lives
からね。
as a payment. The princess
姫
felt
は少し
only
安心します
slightly
が、
relieved.
魔女は代償の話を続けます。お前の王
Let's
子に関する記
see.
憶を
I'll
全部
deprive
奪
you
わせ
of
てもらお
all
う。
memories with the
それに
prince
姫に変身
and
す
the
る魔
magic
法も
needed
返
to
してもら
become
う
a
よ。
princess.
ああ、
I
もちろ
also
ん歌
won't
声は
be
返さな
getting
いよ。
your singing
当たり前
voice
だね。
back, of course.
本来なら目を治すのにこん
Normally,
なに代
I
償は
wouldn't
取らないん
take
だ
this
けどね。
much for healing
余った魔力
his
は
eyes,
お
but
前たちに
I'll
焼か
need
れ
to
た
use
森
the
を直す
magic
のにで
to
も
fix the
使わせて
forest
もらうさ。
that you burnt.
狼のすべてを捧げろと言わんばかりの
What do you think?
魔女の要求。
You've been quite selfish and
Don't.
lied your way here.
これだけの代
You
償
can't do this
お
little
前に払
favor
えるのかい？
for such a tiny human
自分
being.
勝手で嘘をついて生きてきたお前が 姫、
The princess reflected on her journey,
こ
traveling
れ
with
まで
the
の出来
prince,
事、
what she'd
王子
done
との旅、
to him.
自分がした
She
こと、
felt alone in heart.
わかったわ。
Finally,
その
she
代償を
braced
払う
herself,
から、
determined.
王子の目を
Okay,
直して。
I'll do it.
ダメだよ。
No,
僕のため
I
に
won't let you.
そんなこ
The
とさせら
prince
れないよ。
tried to stop her
王
from
子はとんでもな
accepting
い
the
条件を受
witch's
け入れようとする
terms.
姫を止めようとします。姫は王子の手を握り、
The princess
王
seized
子に
the
語りかけま
prince's
す。
hand. It's okay.
いいの、王子。
I'm the one who hurt you.
私は王子の目を
I'm the
傷
one
つ
who
けてし
lied
まっ
to
た。
you. I thought that if
だ
I
けどそれ
was
をごまか
able
して
to heal you,
王子の目を直
I
せば
could make things
それ
right.
だけで王子と仲良くしていいって思ってた。でもそれじゃダメだって分
I
かったんだ。
understand now that it wasn't enough.
だから
So,
王子、
Prince,
傷つけたり
I'm sorry for
嘘
everything
ついたりして
that I've done.
ごめんね。
The prince tried to respond, but
そして王子が何かを言い返そうとした次の瞬間、取引成立だね。
payment accepted. The witch
姫と王子に割り込み、
interrupted them and
魔女は
began
魔法の
the
儀式を
ritual.
始めます。魔法の力の波によっ
The
て
princess was
姫
caught
は囚われ、
in a magical
王子
light,
は弾き飛ばされます。
and the prince was blasted away.
まずはその姫の姿から返しても
I'll
らうよ。
deprive you of your princess
魔女が
form.
指をクイと動かすと、
The witch moved her
あっけ
hands
なく姫の
around,
姿は
and the
狼へと戻って
princess
しまいました。
immediately turned back into a wolf.
もうどれだけ念じても
She could never be a
姫の姿に
princess
は戻
again.
れません。さて、
And now,
次は代償の
the
取り立てだね。
memories, the witch shook her stuff.
魔女が杖を
Magical
振るう
waves
と、
enveloped
狼を
and
覆う魔
restrained
法の
wolf,
波が
who
力
was
強くうねり
starting
ます。
to lose consciousness.
狼の精神はゾワゾワと魔女の魔法の力に掌握されてゆき、姫、
Princess,
音を頼りに
the prince
王子は
cried
狼の
out,
方へ駆け寄ります。
relying on sounds to reach her.
王子の力では
Realizing
魔女の魔法
he
の
couldn't
力か
pull
ら
her away
狼を引き剥がすこと
from
は
the
できま
witch's
せん。
magical power,
王
he
子は
softly touched her
狼
face.
の顔に触れ、姫、
Princess,
僕も謝らな
I'm
きゃ。
sorry for calling you a monster
化け物なん
and
て
a
言
liar.
って。姫の気持ちに
You were honest
嘘なんかなかった。
about how you felt.
姫は
You're
嘘
not
つ
a
く
liar,
のかじゃなか
princess.
った。
So,
姫、
please,
姫が記憶を
even
な
if you
くして
forget everything,
今の気持ちを忘れても
I'll remember, I promise.
僕が覚えてるから。
And
そこで
Rose's
狼の意識はほ
consciousness
とんどなくなり、
kept fading. She didn't hear his words
最後
until
ま
the
で
very
聞くことは
end.
できませんでした。消えゆく意識の
The
中、
wolf reflected
狼
one
は
last
思い
time.
出す。最後に
At least
素直な気持ち
I was able to apologize to him. I wonder if he
王子は
really
許してくれたかな。
forgives me. I wish we could made up and be.
改めて
friends
友達
again.
になってもらって、
I just wanted to be
そ
by
れ
his
からもっ
side.
と仲良くなりたかったな。そして狼の意識
But
は
then everything
真
went
っ白
blank.
になりました。
Oh, that's the end. The liar. That's the end. Oh, this puzzle game. Alright. Not going to say that I enjoyed it, but okay. Take care of yourself.
あるところに小さな王国を取り囲む闇深い森がありました。
Once upon a time there was a kingdom surrounded by a deep dark forest.
昼でも薄暗い闇の広がるそ
The
の森は
forest was a frightening
魔
place
女が支配し
filled with beasts
人食いの
and
化け
ruled by
物
a
が徘徊す
powerful
る
witch.
恐ろしい森
Even
でし
during
た。
the day, the forest could be as
森の
dark
闇は奥
as a
深くへ
winter
行くほど
night.
に濃さを増し、
Because of this, humans
人々はそ
rarely
の闇を
ventured
恐れ
inside.
森の中へ入る者はそんな恐ろしい森で
As
す
terrible
が、
as the forest
月夜
was,
の晩には
a singing
誰か
voice
の歌声が
would
聞こえてき
always
ます。
pierce the darkness when the moon shone.
いいえ、
Well,
それは
it
歌とは
wasn't
言え
very
ない
good
ほどに
singing.
随分と
The
下手
voice
くそなもの
belonged
でし
to
た。
a large wolf
声の
who would
主
sit
は
high atop
狼
a
を思わ
cliff
せる姿の化け
every
物。
night and sing toward the moon.
彼女は毎夜この小高い岩の上で寂しそうな声で月に向かって歌うのでした。なんで私は
Why am I singing?
歌ってるんだろう。
I'm terrible at this.
あんまり歌
For some reason,
うまくないの
whenever
に
the wolf felt sad, she'd
狼
come
は
to this
時々
cliff and
と
sing.
ても寂しい気持ちになる時があり、どうしてだろう
She tried to
と
remember
考えようと
why,
しても
but her memories
記憶
were
に白いも
very
やがかかり、
hazy.
何も思い出すことはできませんでした。なんか
My heart feels
心にぽっ
empty.
かり穴が開いた
The
ような
wolf's
感じ。
lonely song faded away into the darkness
狼の寂しげな
of
歌
the
は
night.
夜の闇の
When
中に
she
吸い
finished,
込まれるよう
silence
に
fell.
消えていきました。何をするわけでもな
The
く、
wolf stared into
狼
the
が空
night
を見つめてぼんや
sky
りとしてい
as
る
still
と、
as a statue.
不意に近くから物音が聞こえ
She
ま
heard
し
a
た。
noise from nearby.
よいしょ。
Oof. A strange
狼は
human
びっくりしまし
climbed
た。
the cliff
見知ら
and
ぬ人間
stood
が
right in front of
突然岩を登って目
The
の前
wolf
までや
was
ってきたのです。
surprised.
ですが、
Humans
狼にとって
and
は
wolf
人
were
間など
mortal
敵ではあ
enemies,
りません。
and a small human
しかも
before
目の
he
前に
looked
現れたのは
especially tender and
肉の
soft.
柔らかそうな人間の子供でした。最近は
The wolf
あんまり
hadn't
人間を
been
食べる気が起きませんで
particularly
したが、
craving humans,
久しぶりのご
but
ちそう
a
が
midnight snack
向こうからやってきたの
had
です。
just presented itself to her.
小腹
She
も空いて
raised
い
a
るし、
large paw,
引き
ready
裂い
to
て食べ
kill
て
the
やろうと
human
大きな爪を振り上
and
げま
eat
した。
him.
その爪を振り下
Just
ろそう
before
と力を
she
込めた
struck
その
him,
時、
however,
不意に
he got her off guard
その人間が
and held out
何かを差し
something.
出しました。視界いっぱいに
The
広が
wolf
る
was
色とりどりのそれ
suddenly
に
overwhelmed by
狼は
colors
目を
of
奪われ、
every shade.
振り下ろそうとした手を
For some
思
reason,
わず止めてしまいま
she
す。
was filled with nostalgia and
なぜか
gentle,
懐かしさを感じ
familiar
る
scent
花。
flowers.
それ
The
は
human was
い
holding
くつ
a
もの花
small
が束ねられた。
bucket.
そうだよ。
Yes,
今まで
it's
の
for
お
you,
返し。
the human said, smiling.
そう
The
言っ
wolf
て、
looked puzzled.
その人間は柔らかく微笑みました。また会いに来たよ、
I came to see you
姫。
again, princess.
その言葉を聞いた瞬
Suddenly,
間、
she was overcome with
狼の目から
emotion.
ポロリと涙がこぼれまし
Tears
た。
welled up in her eyes and flowed
涙
down
は
her
後から
face.
後から溢れ出し、
Sadness and
言い表せない
anguish
感
burst
情
from
とと
her
もに、
heart.
狼には
She
目の
didn't
前の人間が
understand
何を言っているのか、
what he had said to
全く
her,
わかりません。
but she felt her lonely,
だけど
empty heart
正体不明の大切な何かが。狼は振り上げた
The
爪を
wolf
ゆっくり下ろし、
lowered her paw
差
and
し出
reached
された
for
花
the
束に
bucket.
手を伸ばしま
She
した。
gently held the tiny flowers,
優しく
which trembled
優しく握られ
ever
た
so
大きな
slightly,
手の中で、
and sat down on the
小
spot.
さな花は静かに揺れました。花束を手渡した人間は
The human smiled and
嬉しそうに
sat
微笑み、
down next to the
狼
wolf.
の隣に座ります。
Her blurred vision made his smile
狼のぼやける視界の
seem
向こうで
to quiver.
狼と人間は寄り
They
添い、
cuddled under the
狼は
moonlight
歌を歌い
as
始
the
めまし
wolf
た。
sang again. It
そ
wasn't
れは
very good
お世辞
singing,
にもうまいとは言え
but
ない。
the human
どう
listened
しようもなく下手く
to
そな
it
歌でした
joyfully.
が、
Nonetheless,
人間は嬉しそうに、それに耳を傾けます。これまで月に向かって
after
歌わ
that
れてい
night,
たその
the
歌は、
wolf sang not
今
toward
は
the moon,
隣にいる
but
人のために
for the human sitting
歌われま
next
す。
to him, to her.
それは不器用だけど、
And although
素直
the
な気持
singing
ちがこもっ
was
た
not great, it
とても
was
温かな
filled
歌
with
声となり、
warmth and honesty,
夜の森にい
and
つ
it
までも、
brightened the dark
いつま
forest
でも
forever
響き渡りました。
and ever.
めでたし、めでたし。
And they lived happily ever after. So now it's really the end. Cool. Final chapter, yeah.